like that. And I'm just going to go straight to the art screen. Hey, hello Oliver, how are you doing this evening? Welcome on into the stream. Yeah, it's a little bit late in sorting stuff out. Having a yeah, I was just getting the brew sorted. Don't have sugars with it, just a little bit of milk. But yeah, it's one of these things. I always set the timer and get everything run around, get it all set up, and then I'm like, I don't have a drink. One of these days, I'm actually going to remember to actually make the drink first. But yes, welcome on in. Good to see you in. Apologies for not streaming on Wednesday. Twitch was having a moment, so I just could not get Twitch to work, so I just didn't do much. Tried doing a bit of colouring, but it really got hard to do. Just heart was not in it, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to carry on with this. So, good evening, Seba. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. So yeah, what I've got here is a piece of art that one of my dear friends, Penana, she did the actual line art for. She wanted to know if I could colour it for her, and I'm giving it a go. She keeps threatening to pay me for it, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not an artist that do commissions and stuff like that. And she's not in the chat at the minute, so I can get away with saying this. So, yeah. And also, with the way that my mental health dips up and down, it takes so long for me to finish bloody anything. Wait, I'm watching Peaky Blinders and probably about to get Noob. I will admit I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it's something on TV. I haven't had a TV for be about 15 years. So I am very far behind on TV shows. Not that there was much I ever managed to watch. The locals, everything was a bit poor. Though that's not a good thing. But yes, anyway, I shall crack on with this. No webcam just because it's where it's situated on my monitor. You'd just be staring at the top of my head. Unless I start drawing a smiley face on the top of my head, it's not exactly going to be something to look at. And by all means, feel free to look away, put music on, whatnot. I don't have anything I can put on that's like copyright free, and I'm going to be sat here with headphones on. Yes, you can, Saber. Yes, you can. I will get that Marines one done at some point. Peaky Blinders is a gang film. Ah, right, okay. Explains a little bit about the situation they're in there. Okay, I get you. Right. Ooh, that's loud. He says, trying to figure out how to work his Bluetooth headphones because I very rarely use these. I tried having music playing on the computer, but for some reason it kept like chunking out and just going all crazy on me. Could be because I haven't updated the music player, so I'm gonna go with that and just say I'll sort it out afterwards. Right. Righty-ho. So, I'm doing the hair, so I need to... Is that the hair layer there? Yes, that's the darker hair layer. I now want to... Oh, wrong one. I want that one. Look at putting the lighter hair layer in. So let's pick that one, do that. Let's try that and see how that looks. The beauty of digital art is if I don't like the colour afterwards, I can just say, I don't like that. I'm going to just change the colour of it, and it's so much easier. Whoops. The downside is I keep clicking this. Basically, this wheel will always appear wherever the cursor is when I press space, and the amount of times I click one of the buttons and stuff like that. So apologies if it jumps around a lot. That's just me. Let's zoom out a little bit. But this is one of those programs I got ages ago, and I just kind of got used to it. I could have picked up some of the new ones. In fact, I have actually picked up one that one of my friends recommended. I've used it a little bit, but I'm like, oh, I kind of like this one. I'm used to it now. The other one does have the advantage of having a lot more variety in terms of brushes and things like that. You finished all the Michigan contracts. Nice. I am kind of hoping that Steam puts that on sale at some point soon. No, don't like the faded look. Let's go for the solid pen. But yeah, it's like watching your streams on it. I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of like the look of that. I want to see about. Oh, hang on. Let's put that down there so this appears behind the. Hang on, is my pen acting strange? Nope, that's fine. I had trouble the other day. My pen was acting strange. I found out that I had to update the drivers, which I generally don't keep on top of. So I was like, oh, that explains why it was not working properly. I'm just one of these people. I'm like cursed with braking technology at any point. So generally, when things go wrong, I'm like, it's just because it's decided it wants to stop working on me. Rather than it being, oh, hey, yeah, it could just be it needs the drivers update. Lesson learned, check drivers. Just have to do unmarked missions, then you can head to Alaska. Ooh. Yeah, I found Mud Runners to be very chill. So yeah, I can imagine Snow Runners with its, it has more for you to do to be as chill. Oops, didn't like that. Oh, wait, no, I actually want that back. And yeah, as I said, watching the streams, when your OBS was behaving itself, it was kind of interesting. Although I still do not like, I'm going to forget the name of the bloody truck each time, but the fixed wheelbase one, it's like, no. I know it's a real thing. I know that they have it existing, but I just don't like the idea of it. I would prefer articulation over a solid ability to carry whatever it is the 4 pallets of. I guess I'm coming from like a British view on things where you don't really want a truck that solid trying to drive down any road. Whereas I suppose in the States, or the wilderness of Alaska's or whatnot like that, that is not an issue for it to be a solid fixed wheelbase. Twin Steer, yeah. Season 6 coming out on Monday. Ooh. So it's good when new seasons come out. If anything you're particularly interested in watching, it's just nice to see new seasons. It's just a case that you hope the writing is up to scratch and things like that, because there's nothing worse than waiting for a new season of something to come out and then it just be there. I've had that with far too many anime shows I've watched. And part of me is like, how can you mess it up? You have source material and everything. I'm still not particularly sold on that, but I can probably trim that lot down. Let's try zooming in a bit and lowering the brush. See if I can get that to be a bit more of a nice point. But anyway, I forgot to ask. I do hope everyone is having a fantastic time today and has had a good week so far. Mine's not been too bad. I did a charity walk yesterday, so it was 5 miles walking around the city. Actually went to places that I'd never visited, and I've lived in this bloody city for like 18 years now. So it was interesting, and it was odd walking around, and you had some of the higher up management, and then you talk to them, and you're like, you're actually not that bad. They're a bit annoying in work, but they're people you can actually chat to. But it was also nice just to meet up with some other people that I don't get a chance to see that often, and just wandered around, had a chat. Did the 5 mile hike, went round to my friends afterwards, and then cycled 3 miles home. And I think because I did a lot of walking the week previous, there was no, or at least this morning I woke up, there was no issues. The true test is tomorrow, really. It's the day after that's always the worst I've found. Better than you were at lunch. Lunch was a bit shy. Oh, it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, food's one of those odd things that I I know what I like, and I do my best to try and enjoy healthily what I like. But I also suffer from having a decreased sense of smell and therefore decreased sense of taste. So if I have a bad meal, it's a bit of a shame because it's like I've just wasted the time and everything on it. Um, and I can't even say I had anything decent out of it. It is something that I know some people find really weird. I had when I worked in the pharmacy, um, one of the girls came in and she went, "Ooh, I can smell such a person's perfume," and that person was actually upstairs at the time. And I'm like, "How can you smell that?" And she's like, "You can't smell it." I'm like, "No." So she goes, "Oh, I've just got a nice strong nose, I guess." And when said person came down and they were talking about the perfume, I'm literally stood next to this person. I'm like, I just can't smell it. And at that point, they were both like, "What is wrong with your nose?" And I'm like, "It just doesn't work. It has its positives. If you're driving through the countryside, there's certain times you don't really want to be able to smell things." And I'm like, "Yep, can't smell it." But it does have downsides. I'm paranoid when I've finished cooking. Have I turned the gas off? I best check. Just better check. Yeah, the gas is off. That's fine. That's fine because there's nothing worse than not being able to smell gas. Ordered a big tasty with bacon, no tomatoes, no onions, no sauce at the drive-through. When you got it, no onions, tomatoes, no lettuce, no bacon with sauce. That's shite. I mean, you'd think it'd be kind of easy for them to go, all right, no additional extras, just the bacon, and they still managed to mess it up. Raise hell about it. Yeah, I try not to visit fast food places, especially Mackey's. I've never really been a fan of it, to be honest. I know some people love it, but I'm just like me. They generally do runs in the morning at work, and they're like, "Oh, anyone want anything from Macca's?" And I'm like, "No." The only thing I'll eat if I, feeling particularly peckish and can't be bothered to go to the KFC is then chicken nuggets. You know, chicken question mark. But they don't serve them in the morning, so I'm like, well, makes it easy for me. I don't need to worry about that then. Wibble Ragnarok. Wibble. Finally got the canines. Just found out one of them is mirrored. No. Well, it's not like the enemy's really going to care when they, are getting lit up by Ultra ACs. But just welcoming in. That button. That'll do for now. I don't think I'm going to need to do much more. Hopefully. Right, so I've done that, I've done that, I've done that, done that. I might actually want to look at trying to blend the shading in on the hair. I've just noticed I've done hard shading on the hair but soft shading on the face. Nuts. Okay, let us just oh no, don't go that far down. Go there. Swap to this brush because it's going to be a very faint one. Ambrose are the same. Chicken nuggets. They give us 7 fried nuggets instead. However, achieved most goals. Well, that's the main thing to hold on to. You achieved goals. So, you know, positive outcomes. Whilst they may have tried to ruin your day with a, you know, mismanaged lunch, you still came out on top in the end. Being on the theme of keeping positives and things like that. You know, I'm just sort of started thinking, what did I do today? I was like, yeah. So I did a bit more rendering. Trying to get a bit more advanced in what I was doing, and it just took an age. I went shopping to try and find some. They're called Zoft wipes, ZOFT, and they're adhesive removal wipes. So it's like if you have like plasters or band-aids or whatever you want to call them, and you get that sticky residue, you can remove it. I don't use it for that. I use it for model painting because it strips paint off models brilliantly. Which I discovered when I used to do the Scalextrics and I needed to repaint the cars. It just, need to get that old paint job off there. Just rub it with a Zoft wipe. But yeah, there seems to be a shortage on them. So I'm a bit, I went wandering around in the rain to try and find some, and just every pharmacy was flat out. I was like, So I'm going to assume there's a shortage on it. Don't know why, but obviously wherever they're making them, someone's been helping themselves to the isopropyl. But, it was nice to get out, even if it was raining. Fewer people out and about, which made it a nice walk. And apart from that, I did a little bit of organising in the room. Had someone replying to an old video I posted up on YouTube about my VP70 Airsoft, and it was saying that they're getting back into skirmishing and they're pulling their VP70 out of retirement and all this. And I was replying to her and I mentioned I've got some older pieces. I'm like, maybe I should do a video on them, things like the P7 and whatnot. Of course, I'm saying this, and then the weather is absolutely horrendous at the minute. I'm like, I could do a video on it, but it might not be straight away. But it's something that I can think on, and that's my PC when it's rendering. I can't use it for much. It would be a good time to say stuff it, crack out the camera, and do some filming, and actually put stuff on the YouTube channel that isn't just captures of streams. My brain will work eventually, I swear. I'm trying to get back to that stage. Who am I kidding? It never works in the first place. We have a bag of charcoal for the mini forge. Now have some safety goggles, always important. And he has a new motorcycle helmet. I'm assuming that's for the motorcycle, not for the forging. We just need an anvil, a wooden block for the anvil to rest on, and a supply of steel ingots. I'm going to say wood should be fairly easy to come by. Very tempted to put through a death ray order for more demolishers. My Widow Company demolisher just looks so good. There is that. If you want to see a demolisher that doesn't look good, just let me paint it. Yeah, there is that. Although the latter content is not something that's publicly available, so. Although I don't know if it's still on there. I did do like a purge of a lot of old stuff, just to try and sort the channel out a bit more. Oh. My headphone just went off to let me know I got a message. Oh, right, yeah, you're telling me I spent some money earlier on in town. Great, thanks for that. It obviously just detected the internet and decided to update. I decided to have an alert come through from my bank whenever I spend anything. Because I have had someone clone my cards. It was a bit back, but they managed to, use the whole contactless crap to clone my card. And thankfully, my bank turned around and went, "We've detected that you tried to spend some money in a shop that you've never really spent money in. Is this you?" And I'm like, "No, it's not." So yeah, after that, I thought, just in case to make sure, it's whenever I spend anything, it'll alert me as soon as it can. Um, it's kind of handy, but also a bit of a pain in the ass because it goes off for everything. We're looking to get some lengths of whitewood to make corners and some stronger woods between them. Oh, you try to do it properly. I just, got like a old pallet from somewhere and just strapped the anvil to that, but this is why I'm not the one with a forge. And the headset I've got, I was gifted because my mum works in a retail store, and they sold these, and she was like, "Oh, they'd be nice for you." Wilco's finest. They creak and pop if I move my head too much, just because it's all cheap, but they work, I guess. Right, so this is going to be clothing. I am actually really warm at this. What's the trouble with actually making a cup of tea? Is it actually makes me cook? Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. I've just done a little bit of work. Why are you coming up with a... Oh, because I was on that layer. So I've just done a bit of work softening the highlights on the hair. I'm now just going to make a start on the kimono that she's wearing. So I just need... Where's the colour map? There it is. I'll just do the full colour and I'll worry about the dark parts. Actually, the dark could go on its own layer. I'll just work on this. So this is going to be light blue. This is one of the dangers of digital painting. Is building up layers is very, very easy to do. If you're not careful, you'll end up with a whole host of layers that you don't really need. Yeah, that's fine. That's the right brush that I need. Just make it big. Of course, because I've dropped this layer behind, I can be a bit more vigorous in the colouring. Should also help highlight anywhere I've missed. Let's have a look at the reference. So I don't need to worry too much about that. Oops. Bring it down there. I can tell it's got bad because I can hear the rain outside building up again. Yeah, I do love my friend's artwork. She's very good at it. I really should see her actually. If she's determined that she's gonna be like, "No, I'm gonna pay you for this," I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Alright, here's what I want. Instead of money, I want you to draw my OC." Bam, art trade. What is that? Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Ah, I've cocked up down there. Monkeys. I will have to sort that out shortly. I'll just quickly get this base layer in. So you still got the purple demolisher. So we can have the anvil raised up from the ground but be strong enough to take the weight of the anvil and the impacts. I suppose so, yeah. I mean, I've always thought of anvils being on the ground, but as it's only a mini anvil, yeah, you probably want it raised up on something. So a real gun today. It was cool. Heavier than I thought. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've got, obviously because where I am, we don't have access to firearms. Or at least easy access, I should say. But I do have a deactivated Bren gun. And yeah, yep, I can appreciate weighs a ton. It's great if I ever want to do some exercise, though. Who needs weights? Just, grab the Bren. It's a Bren again, Gaff. Alright, so that can go there. Alright, I'm just going to get this blue trimmed and sorted. I'm not going to be too worried about it not covering all the parts I need down there because they're going to get coloured over. I just need to make sure it's not too far over the line, or it's actually where I need it to be. I will be going over the line art afterwards and darkening it, so you should hopefully not see this bleed through, but for now it's handy to keep it that way so I know where the line is. Alright, so there's a bit hit and miss here. So what was it that you what was it you managed to see today then, Oliver? If you know the right people, you can... Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things is I could look to do, actual pistol shooting as a Olympic thing, I think it is do it as a proper sport, and yes, I could have access to it. There are target clubs out there. Or, I could look to go for down the shotgun route and things like that. I'm just like, at the minute, I'm just, yeah. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, wait, I know what that will be. I know what that is. Let's go to the skin layer a second. But at the minute, as I said, I'm just happy enough to stick with my airsoft for now. It may not be 100% realistic, but then I'm not likely to injure myself with recoil, and I'm definitely not going to do any damage to anybody else, at least no lasting damage. Held a 50 cal Eagle. It was a pistol that said 50 on the side of it. Well, I would say, if it was a big, chunky, heavy thing, then yes, it's probably a Deagle. I've got many fond memories of Desert Eagles. I suppose I could go through the reason why here, actually. You shot it, it was powerful. I can imagine. I have seen videos of people firing 50A Desert Eagles, and oh boy, I'm the kind of person, if I was to fire it, it'd be firmly lodged within my face. I can imagine that one. My noodle arms would probably not handle that much power. So yeah, it's what I'd love to try and fire, but I'd probably start on something like the 357 variant, just to try and get my my sights in, if you will, on the recoil aspect of. But yeah, I'd love. It's one of those things I do want to go to the States. I might go to a shooting range and just say, right, we're gonna do this. I was in my mate's garden who's out in the wilderness and shot a tree, massive hole in tree now. Woo! You're just creating a new nesting spot for birds. But yeah, in regards to the Deagle, going back many a moon, when I was in secondary school, my friend had got a magazine from the local gun shop, and it's basically just showing all the air guns you could get and everything. And we were flicking through it, and I saw the Desert Eagle. It was just a profile shot of a Desert Eagle, and I was like, I just like it. I don't care about anything else. I just like it. And it was my mission from that day to get myself an airsoft Desert Eagle, and I eventually did, because the shop used to sell broken airsoft guns for like £6, and I managed to pick one up, and it was a Desert Eagle, and it was the best thing I ever held. It wasn't perfect, but it at the time, being a kid, it was fantastic. I had a Desert Eagle, and I managed to get it working again. And it was like my primary plinking firearm for ages. I say firearm, it was airsoft. But yeah, the day I got my first gas blowback Desert Eagle, I was so hyped with it. And then, unfortunately, the guy I loaned it to for one day managed to drop it in the mud and completely mess it up. And at that time, I didn't really know how to really do much in the way of repairs and whatnot. So I was like, well, that's that's a busted piece. So it then, from that moment, turned into a prop piece. So I painted it bright gold because, you know, hey, everyone's got to have a gold Desert Eagle at some point. I've actually still got it, oddly enough. But yeah, I've since picked up a few others. I do have the Tokyo Marui version, but I need to look at grips for it because, unfortunately, they're suffering from plasticizer. So, like the chemicals and stuff that they used in the making of it, it's actually causing the outer edge to be sticky. Which is, I suppose, in a way, great if you need, you know, grip on it, but it's not exactly the end result that I'm hoping for. Oh, handy. I need that, but I need to erase that. Oh, fudge and honey. Delete that layer. So this is the dark. Let's do it fully dark. That's obviously. This is a problem with not doing this as often as I should have done because I'm now trying to remember how I did the colouring on this. It's like solid and then fade out, right? So let's put it on that layer and. But yes, I'm glad you managed to actually fire a deagle. There's no doubt a body buried in the garden. Let's not go looking for it. There's some things best left unchecked. Dream is a cult single action. It's got lots of guns in its rooms. There could be a RPG in there. Oh, makes bullets. Handy for the apocalypse. His attic is full of machines. That's like some Rick and Morty stuff. I can imagine it being amazing. I will admit it's one of those things where, having done a bit of engineering in the past, I can really appreciate the work that goes into firearms. Which is why I like watching stuff like Forgotten Weapons. Really fascinated with, especially when he covers some of the really old things, and it's just like sitting back and thinking how they made it and all this jazz. And ammo is one thing that I'm like, I just would have no clue how or where that would be started. Again, not something I really look at because, you know, hey, we all know the GCHQ's watching. Hello, GCHQ. It's where I worry when the GCHQ pop into chat going, hello. I always joke when I'm chatting to my friend in Japan, over on Discord, whenever we do something that, you know, we could potentially be seen as slightly dodgy, we always start, you know, saying hello to the GCHQ listeners. I love the guy, but he's crazy. Well, as long as he's crazy in a good way. Actually, now I need to do that to bring that up to go to there. Let's go for that. Whilst I remember, go to the colour map. And I'm on the wrong way. That's why it's not showing anything. Click on colour map, just so I know what I used for the darker colour. Alright, okay, let's start getting this done. Not even Gun Jesus can fix is it gun. I mean, he sort of fixed it. He just, you know, didn't use it much. And I was like, yep, it's awful. To be honest, I wouldn't mind an airsoft one, just because it'd be hilarious and probably work better. But then again, I like weird and quirky. So yeah, it's one that I could quite happily have as an airsoft one. If nothing else, just to do the whole what were they called in the book? Zip operators. That was it. and you have it strapped to the bottom of an M4 just for the sheer hilarity of it, and it'd be like, what? Why have you got that? What is that? It's funny though, not on purpose, but it's funny. Well, I guess it's just one of those things with them. I guess if you're on the good side, woot. Probably one of these people who's like, just don't get on the bad side of them. He managed 5 rounds without a jam. Yep. You know, he managed to work some magic with it. But yeah, I am kind of chuffed that I own an Airsoft Hudson. Managed to get one from, I was going to say the local place, but it's not really local to me. And it's a nice piece. And it is kind of a shame that the actual real steel just didn't take off. But yeah, the advantage to this is because it was, you know, licensed by the company, it's like a nice little collector's piece now. But the only thing I don't like about, or I won't say I don't like it, it's very weird to get used to, is the trigger dingus, aka the trigger safety. So I'll just quickly do a new. So on things like the Glock, you got the trigger and then you have a little dingus that pokes out. So you push in on this first and then you can pull the trigger back. If that's not depressed, the trigger doesn't come back. On the Hudson, you've got a 1911 style trigger and then the trigger dingus here, which is pinned down there, so that clicks in first. Very weird. Very, very weird. It takes a bit of getting used to. But otherwise, it's got a really nice trigger pull to it. Nope. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'd be like, just keep on his good side. That's got a few rounds of 30-06 out of Shawshaw. Well, don't forget, the Shawshaw wasn't too bad. At least I know the Shawshaw that he used was the original French version, which wasn't as bad as. The American conversion one, yeah, that did have issues. Then absolutely, I would just won't ask at all then. Again, there are some things best left unsaid. Oops. But yeah, in terms of Forgotten Weapons, I just like the fact that he's dispelled myths for me, like the Shawshaw was just utterly awful. Because everyone knows about that myth, and then you sort of find out that actually it wasn't as bad as it's made out to be. So yeah, it's been interesting. And again, because the engineer in me especially liked watching the videos and seeing stuff. One thing I did like was when he did the what he calls the Chinese mystery weapons. It's like the copies of like Mausers and whatnot, which are like handmade in probably like garden sheds or something like that. Way back when. Is that? Yeah, that's a piece I've missed. That's annoying. And it's the engineer in me looks at it and goes, "That took some skill. You know, it might look like utter garbage, but I know that would have taken skill to be able to do." Oh, no, it's a different layer. Which layer is that? Sorry, there's a white speck, and I'm trying to figure out what layer it's on. Colour map. That's fine. I just turned the colour map off. Woohoo! The 3006 was the conversion. Yeah, so it was the 3006 conversion that really messed up the reputation of it. I mean, it had issues, and like massive witness hole in the side of the magazines. Probably not the best thing for muddy trenches, but you've also got to remember it was done at a time where, well, we've got hindsight. We can look at things and go, that was a bit daft, really. It's like with the power of hindsight, you can look back at the Mark 1 tank and go, wasn't really that great though, was it? But at the time, it was the thing. Oops. No, I don't like that. Nope, nope, too far. Thank God for Control Z's cousin, Control Y. Redo. No, let's not put that there. Action in the barrel are not things an amateur can make. True, although Looty may have a few things to say about that. Although I don't think Looty was technically an amateur either. It was just proving a point that, anyone with engineering knowledge and firearms knowledge can make one. Not sure I'd, really want to go to jail just to prove the point, but hey, props to him. I mean, hell, you don't even need to go too crazy in the building the actions and stuff like that, as that dude in Japan kind of proved. Can't build a decent barrel? Oh, here's some pipes. Oh wait, no, that's nowhere near there, so that would not be shaded. But yes, it's one of the sad things. I don't agree with the idea of, if you don't like someone, just go ahead and kill them. Because to me, that's sort of like, they win. It sounds odd, I appreciate, but if you disagree with someone's opinion on something, the best way to really get at them is to, well, prove them wrong. And if they're not around to see you succeed, then you haven't really won, in my opinion. But, just kind of waxing philosophical here as well. It's people are wired different ways, and some people see it as the only option. Which is a bit of a shame. I'm going to try not to get dragged in too much of a philosophical discussion there. Mostly because I'm nowhere placed to talk about crap like that. Is that a hole in the background? It might very well be. No, it isn't. So that's something. Alright, I'm going to see if I can zoom in on it. There's this little speck there. I'm trying to figure out what layer it's on for it to be. Oh, wait, there it is. Skin layer. Alright, let's zoom out a second. Let's have a look. I feel like it does need a bit more. Oh, right, sorry, Oliver, I completely missed that one. But yeah, no worries, Oliver. Thank you for popping by. The windows didn't help the Shawshaw's case. It was just not designed to work in the mud. Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, assassinations don't help the case. Leave assassinations to, computer games. Assassin's Creed and all that sort of jazz. In fact, waxing philosophical. Let's just leave all violence to computer games. Again, I guess it's the side of it that got picked on a hell of a lot in school. I'm just like, I just don't like the idea of violence. Doesn't mean I'm not capable of it, but I just try to steer away from it where I can. The downside is that's also been half the reason I am where I am, because I just care too much about folks. And I spent too much time caring about folks than I did for myself. So care for others is good, but you've got to look after number one first, because if you're not in the right headspace, you can't help others. Anyway, let's talk about something, I don't know, happy? God, my art streams are turned into like philosophical bloody discussions. Greetings, Cardon. Greetings and salutations indeed. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well today. Have you had a chance to try out Rainbow Runners? No. Rainbow Run? Rainbow Road? Runbow. Nope, going in blind. Awesome. For all the entertainment. And yeah, shooting Hitler in the nuts is always fun. But again, it's computer games allow you to do that. I will admit, another thing I'm probably going to look to do is pick up 5 when I can. When it's on sale. There's something fun about watching people play it, though. Although I like watching Big Mooney, so... Let's put it in there. Jason checked it out for a moment to figure out multipasses of code distribution, so it should be easy enough. Woohoo! I'll find it. I'll try and wrap this up before you go live, so I can actually get stuff sorted and join in. But it might be that I might be like on the... Well, actually, no, because you usually do your preamble. I might actually be able to make it for the first one. And I'll probably get something to eat later on. Also, whilst I remember, probably going to do Phasmo for tomorrow's stream, because obviously the big update dropped, and I do want to check it out for a little bit. And we shall see how that one turns out. You've got time to blag. Honestly, not expecting a full stream of Rumbo. Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things as well. I'm sure we've got other stuff we can dive into if need be. Hang on, what's this? That's dark, so that's fine. Right, okay, let's start adding the dark layer on. Oh, no. Color map. And then if I do that, oh, wait, no, that one. I knew there's one of these buttons. I know what I'm doing, he says, without a clue in the world what he's doing. I'm just going to work on the darks for now, and then I'll worry about putting the lighter shades in. Got Phasmo to do. Woohoo! Does this mean smoke can make spoop noises? I mean, smoke can make spoop noises. It doesn't necessarily mean it's... I mean, if I get eaten by ghosts, then... it's not a good thing. Hello, Panana, welcome on in. And Kudo, welcome on in. I hope you are all having a fantastic evening so far. I missed a spot there. How on earth did I miss a spot there? That's annoying. Boop. Boop. That layer. Boop. Wait, no, I know what that is. You know, I'm going to just erase that from that layer, because that's going to get me every single time I forget to turn that off. Monkey nuts, I'll grab it in a minute. Right, so dark is, so that's dark. That's dark. That's white. That's dark. That's dark. That's dark. That's dark. That's dark. So that runs all the way up to there. I'm assuming this bit here, Banana, seeing as I got you in. I'm assuming that's supposed to be the same colour as that there. I'm just assuming it's part of the underskirt. Sorry I'm late, dying of weed flu. No! Have you been to a convention? I suppose as long as it's just, you know, weed flu, it's not too bad. Oh. So the leaves are dark as well. Okay, so that's got to be dark. Oh, except when they're on the... I see. So they're just alternate colours. Gotcha. That's dark. That's dark. Ah, monkeys, I forgot to do this. Oh, sorry, I can do that easy enough. So that's dark. We've got top string. Going to the bottom. And then that. That is the other knee. Oh, yeah. Now you say it, I can see it. Wait, are you sure? The only reason I'm saying that is... Let's straighten up and zoom out a sec. Oh, let's see. So, big toe there. So I see that as the knee going, you know, that the shin sort of goes back to about here-ish. And then that foot touches earth. That's the other knee. I'm a bit lost on that one. Unless that foot needs to be the other way around. Because then you could have it as the knee there, leg going up. And then that's that knee going down, but then that foot would have to be the other way around. So do you want me to just redraw that foot the other way around? Delete the line. That's not a problem. Can do. Just thought I'd check, because I thought it was like part of the frilly dress underneath, so that's the reason why I didn't colour it in. Right, I'll sort that out later on then. But now I know. I just want to try and get the rest of the dark coloured. Is there anything up here? So yeah, we've got that. That line. That. Sleeves. I could get into that position. It wouldn't be comfortable, but I'm sure I could do it. What, you mean bending your knees across each other? I mean, yeah, basically you could argue that they've crossed their legs. You know, that leg comes down there and it goes off. It's just, it looks, because they're not sat on a chair. That would be a very weird position to be in unless you deliberately want to fall over or you're doing the Ministry of Silly Walks. And I don't think this character's doing the Ministry of Silly Walks. I mean, if they are, yeah, it's an easy enough thing to do. I mean, you know, some of the big artists still cock it up from time to time, so it's, and you know, I'm definitely no stranger to cocking up. Which is why I thought I'd check. Actually, I can just go over that because it's not too much of a worry. I'll be doing that on top of everything. But yeah, I prefer the easiest solution of delete the line rather than redraw the foot. I mean, technically, I could try and cheat and, you know, copy, rotate, mirror, yada yada yada, but I'm just like, we'll keep it easy. We'll delete the line. It never happened. No one will ever know, apart from everyone who watches the streams. But apart from that, you know, it's probably about what, 5, 6 people. No worries. I said, you know, it's one of these things I thought I'd check just to be on the safe side, because it could have been something completely different, and you know, I just completely missed it. Because whilst it is on the colour map coloured, I just wanted to double check. I need to trim that back a bit. But yeah, I can see that you've coloured it on the colour map, but part of me was like, has that just been something that's just been forgotten about and I just need to change the colour? Because I know what it's like when you spend time on art, especially if you spend a lot of time on it, and then you colour it all and you sit back and you're like, I've done it, I've finally done it, and you overlook a tiny little bit like that, and then you post it up and you're happy and chuffed, and then the next day you look at it and you go, oh shit. Which is why one of the handy tips that I have is to either A, mirror the art before you post the final image. So with this program, I'm actually kind of lucky. I can sort of go boof, and it gives you a different perspective. Going back to when I used to draw a lot on paper, one of the tips I was given by someone was literally stick it next to a mirror and have a look at it for that mirror perspective. But the other thing I can say is before you go ahead and post it, sleep on it. Come back to it the next day and then you can look at it and go, oh yeah, I can see I've missed that. It just saves the well, I see it's embarrassment. You post it up and then you see the error and you're like, sugar. Can I delete it before, you know, people note? Oh wait, no, it's been viewed by like 30 odd people, so 30 odd people have seen the error. No, my career as an artist is over. Oh wait, I never had a career anyway. Woohoo! See, that's how I save myself as, you know, an artiste. I don't have a career, so I can't mess anything up. Let's just clear that up. And oops, went too far. As I said, I will be going over the line art again afterwards just to darken it up so it isn't as transparent. I've done it. It's finished. Oh, fuck. Why does that have the mental image of you saying that while smothering with the pillow? Hang on, what have I missed? It never happened. Maybe slightly volatile, not that volatile. I can confirm, yes. I mean, yeah, I've still got all my limbs. I mean, to be fair, I probably did, you know, deserve getting hit in the arm a few times. Especially that part where you're like, I don't know this guy, and I just instantly like, yep. Rule 2 of Phasmo: if my cat does not die first, Cairo will. Good evening, Mothfox. Good evening indeed. The human cat pillow. Ah, I see you've got company. Yeah, due to the weather today, the neighbour's cat has not bothered me. Which is a bit of a surprise considering it only lives just, you know, technically above me, but yeah, it's not decided to venture out. So, I've not been made into a pincushion today, which is rather nice. But yes, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Higuro has issues. Express love via punches. I think they call that tsundere. Remember Chester. Yes. And look, it's not guaranteed when I use the cursed item that Chiron will die first. It's just usually a high chance. And to be fair, the time that he did die stupidly quick was because we didn't really know what was going to happen. So you know, I'm saying I'm fine. You can trust me with your cursed objects. I am probably not going to get you killed straight away. But yeah, speaking about Phasmo, so they have put in the asylum's been reworked so that it's a different map, but there is also restricted versions of the asylum. So what it does is it will essentially lock you into an area of the asylum so that it reduces the size of it. So you can still play the asylum, but it's a smaller map. But the areas that will be closed off to you can vary. So if you go back into it again, you're not necessarily going to be locked into the same area. There's been a few updates to the ghosts I've not looked up because they're hidden behind spoiler tags, so we'll find that when we get there. And they've also made a smaller version of the campsite. And there's a few other changes. I think the garage has changed as well. It's no longer in that basement garage kind of effort as your the lobby. I believe that has now changed if I read the notes correctly. So that could be entertaining. First rule of Tsundere Club is, well, punch the person who's pointed it out. I was pincushioned and then turned into a pillow. Yeah, they like doing that. They like making sure, I don't know why, but they like making sure that everything is all, you know, firmly acupunctured, question mark, before they'll sleep on it. Well, the neighbour's cat does have this annoying habit that after a while, because I'll be using the computer, I've got to reach over it. It sort of gets bored and starts trying to claw my arm, and I'm like, will you stop trying to do that? It's at that point then, you know, I just sort of shift my position so it scoots off. I think what it is by then it's like, human, you're not giving me food. I'm like, no. Which reminds me, actually, I've got some Sarnie meat to use up. I might actually have that for tea. And the Tsundere version of Kanata. Yes. Tenderized. Yep. Why did those white lines evade your background eraser? Which, what? You mean, what, the ones that I was just erasing earlier? They weren't your white lines, they were the skin. If it's what I think you were referring to. If it's like the little white line over here, that was from the skin layer. If you mean these white lines, don't know. Blame Photoshop. On the leafies. Oh, right, okay. Okay, I can redo that and get that sorted anyway because they're a separate layer. If the white's not supposed to be there, I'll just erase it. I just thought it was part of the pattern. This is where I find out that it is part of the pattern and Control Z is going to rear its ugly head. Yeah, not dumb. Don't be daft. I said, blame Photoshop. Right. So, oh, fudge cakes. I need to hide those layers and give me that. Come back. Oh God, no, that's even more. What? Oh. What colour should these be? If it should be this green, then that's fine. In fact, I can just colour it in, but worry about that afterwards. You're not dumb. You just have a few moments. It's like the rest of us. Don't beat yourself up over it. Or I will have to come back up there and aggressively give you a hug. Wait, I'm probably going to be doing that anyway. You're doomed! Doomed, I say! Although I know I'm not travelling up by train. Oh boy, that's just a big noop. I'm going to need a bigger dustpan. Just get you done. Yay. Sure, because I've got music going on in my ear. I've got the Girls and Panzer theme tune playing. The orchestral tank march that they use. It's such a dumb show, I love it. I still remember when I first saw the announcement for it and I was like, Girls and Tank, this looks like it's going to be... I'm going to give it a watch. It could be utterly horrendous. I can't imagine it being any good. Oh boy, was I wrong. It was like looking at Kimono Friends and being like, I don't think this is really going to be all that great, but I'll give it a watch and see what it's like. And as long as you can overlook the slightly janky animation, which, yes, it does have some charm to it, but at the same token, it's a shame that I've seen, better Miku Miku dance videos. But it's a definite case of, you know what, if you've got a decent story, it doesn't really matter what your animation is like. No, I don't think I'll be doing more serenading. I'm partially tone deaf. Maybe more than partially. There was a show with a similar premise released something years ago. Something post-apocalyptic girls driving around in a tank. Oh, yes. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's as you say that my brain's like, yep, I know that. It's giving me mental images, which differ to my normal mental images because they don't have cat ears. Shock, horror. Ah, yes. Yes, and then of course, because it's my music selection, it goes from the Girls and Panzer soundtrack to playing music from Dr. Horrible's sing-along block. Woohoo! Everything. My wish is your comes and back, everyone. Nothing here to see. Just imminent danger in the middle of it. Me, yes, Captain Hammer's here, hair blowing in the breeze. Day needs my saving expertise. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Seems destiny ends with me saving you. Only doom that's looming gives you love in me today. I'll give you a second to catch your breath. Yes. It was such a fun little show, that. Well, series of 3 episodes, but you know. Girls Last Tour. 2 girls ordering in the post clubs ordering a Kettenkrad. Could be. On the plus side, being tone deaf, you're never going to get copyright violation. Absolutely. It's like, you're singing a tune. We're not quite sure what. I mean, there's words in it. We can match them to a song, but the tune, maybe not so. I did have a random idea as well, because I seem to recall you saying that Stupendium, you know, if you like link back to his stuff, you can actually play the music. And part of me was thinking, wouldn't it be kind of cool, because he's got like 50 odd different games he's done songs for, to actually go through the songs, the games he's done songs for, and basically the intro music would be that song. So like linking back to him for whatever song, but it'd be like playing stuff like Death and Taxes, and then playing that in the background, you know, for the waiting screen. It does mean that I would have to play That Only Cans, which could be hilarious, but I'd probably have to try it off stream to figure out what on earth it is. But it's just one of those random things. It's like, it also then gives me an excuse to get some of those games where I like the look of. I'm not quite sure if they're going to be any good, but hey, why not? Because it's like House Flipper is one of them. Right, okay, so that's all of them cleaned up. I'm going to drop that back down to the 40 that I had it on. So is that... Oh, wait, no, because that's the main line art. Right, that's fine. Actually, whilst I've got that one selected, and I remember... It's time to do some surgery. It's like none of it ever happened. Only counts as safe to stream. I kind of figured it would be. But again, it's one of these things, yeah. So with the Hitman stuff, it wasn't a problem on Twitch, but sending it... Oh, YouTube did trigger a violation. Violation for YouTube is he uses samples he's got rights to use, but can't say others. Right, okay. Maybe I could only do worth, yeah. It was an idea I had. Maybe not the greatest of ideas, but then again, I can't really say I have many of them. Might be worth checking over the other layers I sent you when you get to them too, in case your opacity is down. Well, I said, the opacity being down isn't too much of an issue, because I should... Let's just test. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, no, I know what it is. I know why it's see-through. Oh, monkey poop. I'm on multiply. Because normal has got that. So I multiplied it to clear the white off. Although, if I do burn, once it's all coloured in, that'd work. I'll worry about that one when I get to it. But yeah, that will solve that problem. And yeah, at least YouTube does let you know. It's like the Dishonored video apparently had a copyright claim from some anime. ReZero, I think it was. Yeah, copyright claim because I was using the audio from their intro. And I'm like, no, that was the ending song to Dishonored. But the automatic copyright claim kicked in, and I was like, I couldn't even turn around to YouTube and say, actually, that's a false claim. Oh, fudge. Wrong layer. Kind of irked me a bit, but ho hum, what can you do? So the dangers of posting to YouTube is, all the big companies have their fingers in all the pies, and they're like, well, you can't post that without us getting some money from it. And I'm like, well, it's not even your bloody material and you're claiming it. Filed under features I do not use. What, the multiply gubbins? Can be handy at times. I've used it for some of the renders. With a lot of my renders, I very rarely actually do post-processing work on them, which is probably why some of them look awful. But it's I have done on occasion where I've done 2 renders because like one render was just going to take too long. It had spent 4 hours and it looked like crap, and it was saying it was only 50% done, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's it wasn't even a large render either. So I found I could render the background and then render the character as separate things, and then I sort of blended the two together, and using like the multiply and stuff like that just helped with the lighting effects. But I'll bring up the one I was working on earlier in a moment, because I could probably do with making it smaller if I need to share it to people. So what I do with my renders now is I try and oversize them, and then I can downscale them in this so that they're not stupidly large, but it helps smooth them out a bit. Plus, you don't get a violation on YouTube. Very people insist on taking it down. Just take any money. Yeah, that's where I'm just like, yeah, fine. You put the challenge in. I don't care. And I've had it a couple of times where I've had music in the video and it's come saying, you've used music from this. I'm like, you're right. And I've just not bothered complaining because I'm like, if I make any money off it, it goes to them. I don't care. That is to me perfectly fine. I don't do any of this to make money. So as long as it's the bit that got me was it was a false claim by a big company saying it was from an anime. I'm like, no, it doesn't even sound the same. I don't know how this bot picked it up on it, but they did not sound at all the same. But nope, it obviously went, no, these are the same song. And I'm like, no. But yeah, it's where I sat and let the credits roll on Dishonored and didn't speak over it as well, so that probably didn't help. Unless it's Disney. Yeah, well, yeah. I have opinions about Disney, and yeah, they could do some good stuff, but they come across a bit like Nintendo in some cases. Where I know Nintendo were very, you can't say bad things about our games, or I'm just like, well, if you don't want people to say bad stuff about it, don't make it bad. Oops. Got a violation strike on YouTube once by Sony Music Entertainment Japan. Ooh. Karakura also sure to be. Yeah, but then, Karakura wouldn't know how to make a decent anime show if it came up and slapped him in the face. Car Force my Kimono Friends 2, yep, bastards. I'm not talking about that half-assed rehash of the first series that you decided to bring out. Bots were a problem. I remember watching a video, they were listening to Ocean Waves and that got a violation strike for some music track. Yep. I wouldn't mind as much if there was a way you could turn around and be like, actually, no, it's wrong. But there isn't. There's no no way of turning around to YouTube and saying, actually, no, that's incorrect. This is where it's from and whatnot. It's YouTube is just assuming that the bots are correct. I think that's the bit that really infuriated me, was that I couldn't turn around and say, actually, if anyone's going to make money off it, it should be the team at Dishonored, or the artist that sang the song from that, not some random opening from ReZero. Ooh, yep, need to sort that out, because obviously I've left this layer beneath the skin layer. And just in case anyone's actually sat here wondering why I have a bright red layer as the background, it just makes it so much easier to see where I've missed gaps. And it doesn't burn the eyes as much as white. Which is a fun fact, if you ever need to use a torch and you find it a bit too bright for you, put a red filter over it. Oh, wrong layer, wrong thing even. I want to go to there, do that. And then whilst I'm here, question mark, can I find the right layer? Yes, I can. Let's do that. That's... Am I going to go find coffee, go live? Not a problem at all, Caron. I'll be over as soon as. Uploaded a Calafina song, made it private. It's one thing that I know is, even though it could be private, they'll still run things by you, because, obviously some people using it to share stuff like that in worse ways. I was trying to find a colour I knew wouldn't be dominant on the image. Your layers have little drop down menus that my brain is in shock. My layers have drop down menus? What, you mean this arrow? Or do you mean the folders? The folders, yeah. No, I work if I'm working on something like this, which is lots of colours, complex, I'll break it down between them so I can easily, if I need to, I can hide all the skin layers in one click. But I can organise the folders a lot easier. So it's just something that I got used to doing a while back. Because as you can see, the skin layer itself is the main base skin, and then you've got 5 layers on top of it. If I had all the folders, I'd be scrolling up and down like mad on there, whereas I can just have it that, and it's that there. Just makes working on things a little bit easier. Been watching old videos of American Gladiators. Ooh, I still remember the old English Gladiators. I used to love watching Gladiators. I remember there was a guy who, I think, was he Shadow? I can't quite remember his name, but he basically had like golf ball eyes. We used to refer to him like that because he'd stand on the podiums and stuff like that, and he had such an intense stare. His eyes would almost look like they were popping out, and they were just white balls in this very black face, and it was just like 2 golf balls had been shot at him. Gladiators, day before health. I mean, they still had some form of health and safety, but yeah, it was one where it was more of the entertainment was there, and people knew what they were getting in for, and I think that was the main thing, is people signed up for it knowing that they could be injured. It was just part of the show, I guess. But yes, wasn't it contenders instead of contestants, or am I thinking wrong? So I thought it was like contenders ready, gladiators ready. You've watched all of the UK version, yeah, and it was Shadow then, wasn't it? Yeah. I think they did try to bring it back. Again, not having had a TV for quite a while. Can't 100% sure, but I'm sure they did try. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if someone sprained their ankle and then tried to sue the show. Because I hurt myself. You didn't say I might get hurt in a, physical contact environment. Oh. Yes, I know my alarm is going off. That's why I'm trying to turn it off, you stupid phone. It's coming back next year. Ooh. I may have to go around to someone's place who's got a TV and watch it. Yep, other advantage of not having a TV, not watching live sports or anything else that, you need to do in order to have a TV license is, hey, I don't pay for a TV license. I don't access the BBC because I don't really trust anything that they say. So, yeah. I just find it kind of funny as well because obviously they have this thing where, they'll region lock the BBC so that non-UK residents can't access it. So that, only people who pay for the TV license can access BBC content, or people who have a brain and, go for a VPN. But hey, again, it's the BBC. They're hoping that the majority of people out there are like their targeted audience, i.e. a bit thick. And they won't know about technology such as VPNs. This show not sponsored by any of those fancy VPNs. Oh, wait. Yep, too far. Just had a sudden, oh my god, are we on the right layer? Yeah. Woo. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Oh. What's going on? Why is my phone beeping at me? Oh, the alarm's gone off. Yes, I know. Oh, Gideon. Right. Yes, I know about that. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm just going to turn the Bluetooth off. I think it's just going to keep moaning at me as well. Oh. I think I also need to charge these. That could be another thing. It's not saying that they're out of power, but you never know. I'll put them on charge. Oh. God, it's weird to move my head around and not creak every time I do so. Yeah, they tried in 2004, tried to copy the USA version by having it a studio instead of an arena. Oh, God. Yeah, I can't imagine a studio would kind of work. I mean, it worked in the States, because obviously they'd have huge studios. Whereas over here, we have, like, I don't know, a box next to the River Thames, something like that. Or Thames. The river in London. Gladiators brought to you by our sponsors, Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, no. I see enough adverts for Raid Shadow Legends as I'm waiting for Duolingo. You can do a lesson and then you get an advert on the free bit. It's like after every lesson. And some days it's not too bad. It will actually give me different adverts. Other days it's Raid Shadow Legends. I can't hit the mute button fast enough. I do love the fact that I can actually mute the adverts. But it is a bit of an annoying thing where it's just like, oh look, it's this guy going, Raid Shadow Legends, I'm a hype master, roar! I'm just like, oh, shut up. All I know from it is, boy, he wishes he had this when he started, and that's as much as it gets before I found the mute button. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll finish putting the dark in place, and then I can wrap it up there knowing where I am with this, and I can continue a bit more later on. Oh, fudge cakes. Never mind. It's what the eraser's for. Yep. Twist my head, so yeah, that is part of it there. That is part of it. That's white, so that's fine. That's okay there, so I just need to do this, and then, because my brain has just suddenly gone, I need to clear these, because then I can use the light blue layer underneath it. Ooh, don't like that. Oh, monkeys. I'll take it and I'll do it this way. Yeah, just thinking about it, the light blue layer is beneath the dark blue, so I'd either have to repaint these on top, or I just paint the light blue underneath and delete the top part of the layer, and we are done on that. So that's not that, that's... Let's make this a bit larger. Did not work out that well with our two series. A lot of gladiators versus the new ones. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of the old shows are kind of fun to watch. I mean, I'm trying to remember. There was one that suddenly sprang into my head as I was mentioning that. Oh, You Bet, I think it was. Used to love watching that. It makes me sad when I watch an ad because it looks interesting and it's Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, luckily it's one of those where it doesn't really grab me in anything that I've seen on it. So I'm not like, it's memey, but I'll give it a go. I'm just like, no, it just doesn't grab me. Unlike others where I look at it and I'm like, it does look like it might be interesting, but I don't know if I want to sink my time into another game. Because there's, what's it, Genshin Impact is one, and I like the look of it, but I'm like, I really can't. I have difficulty keeping up with what I've got currently. Although now, thanks to a certain someone, I've got back into Fate. I've been working on getting some more of the servants leveled up a bit more. Trying to get everyone at least to their final Ascension artwork, and then I can level them up from there. But I'm also like, how do I play this again? Oh, also, I don't know how far you are, Panana, in the story. Have you done Camelot yet? No. Okay. It's a challenge. I'll let you know now. It's a challenge. So just be aware of that one. Much like as when it came around to us doing it, we had the JP Bros. They'd let us know all the issues with it. You will find it is an utter sod, but rewarding once it's done. But yeah, I suppose now there's no event on, I can actually try looking at maybe doing the story. As I'm sure that'd be a good thing to maybe have a look at doing. Although to be fair, I just like playing it because I find it a bit of a fun thing to do. And Tama Mama. Can never go wrong with some Tama Mama. But yes, I am very thankful to you as well for the colour map. Very useful. It's just very nice to be able to look at, especially doing this part, to figure out what's what. Um, oh, right, so let's click that button. It does it automatically to scale. Right, okay. First of all, press the magic button. Save. Ba -ba 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 -ba. You're still in Jean Jolter's land. Oh wait, no, but not Jolter. Yeah, it's annoying. I actually kind of like Joan of Arc, but I never managed to get her to drop. But I did get Jolter, and I'm like, I don't really care about Jolter. But the more I've seen of, I think it's more like the comic-y side of things. But Jolter does come across in them. So if you've ever seen the Fate Grand Order Carnival Phantasm, that's just brilliant. And the one unit that I absolutely detested getting, but I use so often because they're actually fairly decent, is Golden Boy, Gilgamesh. Genshin looks good, but you need a good PC or phone, so it won't melt it. And the Gacha is ultra predator. Yeah, it's one thing I like about Azure Lane is the Gacha is really friendly, and you can quite easily just free to play it. I need to get my button gear for my best boy Betty gun. Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, my brain went beddy and I instantly thought of bed, and I was like, finish the current Lost Belt. Have they done any new ones? Because I've got it's Anastasia. I think I've actually got to do. I literally stopped playing just after the whole Caldera event. I don't want to go into too much spoilers because obviously I don't know how much Penana knows about this, but yeah, the Anastasia is where I am at. Temamamu is Lafu, of course. Yes, yes. I did it for both of us. Good use of 45 minutes. Woohoo! Yes. And Carnival Phantom. It's one of those where when the song comes on at work, I'll happily bop along to it. I really should try learning more of the words because then I could probably quite happily just sit there and sing it and really confuse people at work. Anastasia's Lost Belt 1. Alright, what Lost Belt are they up to then? Jean is Orleans, which is Jolter. Oh, okay then. Yeah, I'll sort of right with it. I'm just happy I managed to get Jolter's Shinjuku outfit. Oh, look at that. I do quite happily enjoy getting some of the alternate skins. I've just one that I got was Okita's teal effort, which I just left her with. Okita's one. I'm so glad I managed to get her. She's just such a fun character. So glad I managed to get Okita. Lost Belt 5. Okay, so I've got some catching up to. Oh well. Okita Alter. Well, not Momentos because fudge cakes. I can't remember. Like I left. I think before Okita Alter was a thing. Okita Alter. There we are. Thank you, Danborg. It's a recolored saber, but it's cool. I mean, let's face it, all the sabers are recolored sabers. Except Nero. Because everyone knows Nero is just Umu. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I see. It hasn't changed much. I mean, I just look at her and I'm like, yep, that's another target for Mysterious Heroine X. Attacks the saber faces. I just love the fact that they're so self-aware that they know saber faces are a thing. Next one is Lost Belt 6 and the is that Fairy Knights? Fairy Knights, not furry. My one gripe with Type Moon, what, saber faces? I mean, it's one of these things, you know, they had a look, they stuck with it. It could be worse. I mean, can you imagine them bringing in Sader, the knockoff Saber figure? Type Moon has a type, clearly, yes. Blonde. Right. So before I head off to do the raid, over to Cardon's channel, I did say I'd dig out that render I'd done. So this being, oh, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's only 25 meg for a 5,000 pixel tall render. I'd done it previously and it didn't come out quite right, so I redid it again. But my aim is to try and get a render done up for the more for like the stream, so I can change over the various backgrounds that I use, just to have more of them going. But let's see if it comes down. There we are. And yes, it's Loyu again. Because, you know, I found something that works, does fairly well for her. The ears almost match the hair, they're not actually part of it. Changing the colour of them is an absolute nightmare, so they sort of fit. But yeah, so that one took a little while to render up. Yeah, it's only, I have some renders on here which are 50 megabyte, because I made them stupidly large. I'm just, I think I actually resized and then deleted, because obviously 50 megabytes is quite a bit to have sat on the PC. Could I get away with showing this? Probably not, so I'll save that. I'll resize that one and probably send it over to Discords. There's nothing showing, but again, no Twitch. But it was one I'd done it as a art piece ages ago, and I thought I'll try and render it. And then you realise that it really hits you where anatomy is wrong, because you just can't get the figure to be in the same pose. Right, so actually let's load up Chiron's stream whilst I'm thinking on this. Hello, you being alluring. Yeah, what can I say? You know, it's like Type Moon has a type. I have a type. It's Loyu. And considering that she has been a character that's stuck in my head since about 2000, so she, is 22 years old. Technically, she's older than that if you sort of add her actual age onto it. But the idea of her is 22 years old, and she has evolved quite a bit in that. Right. Oh no, I don't need that. I just need that part there. So yeah, Chiron is up and streaming. So I'm going to be raiding over, because I'm also going to be start that one again. I shall also be joining him in the game that he is playing, which is Runbow, which is one of the current freebies on Epic. The other one being some kind of drone thing. It's like your drone simulator or whatnot. Yeah. Why would I want to simulate drones on a computer? If you could simulate helicopters or something entertaining, but anyway. So I'll be joining him in that. No idea what this is going to be like. Well, we shall find out. So let me get the raid going. So I do hope you will join me over in the raid in the channel. If you have a PC and access to Epic, you can download the game and you'll be able to come and join us should you wish. However, I appreciate it's not everyone's cup of tea, so don't worry if you don't want to join in. I do thank everyone for turning up to watch. I hope you have had a fun time, an interesting time, and yes, I shall catch you on the next room. Should be tomorrow, should be Phasmophobia, and that'll be at 9 PM. But until then, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, I'll catch you later. Toodles! We'll get you the game at some point, Banana.